Welcome to the Mismatch. I'm Chris Vernon, and joining me as he does every week from TheRinger.com is Dave Jacoby. Jacoby!
Verno, nothing will match last Monday's buzzer beater after buzzer beater after buzzer beater. But we had a good night in the association last night.
This was a great night. So I had two TVs going. One had the Monday Night Football game on because my family's Cowboys fans. And then the other one, my son was in charge. And so we're just flipping from game to game to game. We did have a lot of good games and a lot of good endings that were going on last night. And so let's start with outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder and their 14-1 record, and we know how great they are. Who would have guessed that we would be talking on Tuesday, November 18th, about the two hottest things cracking are the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons win again.
Pistons win again.
And the Toronto Raptors. My Toronto Raptors.
You're listening to The Mismatch, presented by FanDuel. FanDuel now displays your bets directly on your phone's lock screen. And with the latest updates to the live events and player pages, it's never been easier to be part of the game. And Missouri, get excited because FanDuel's coming your way December 1st. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and play your game. Remember, you must be 21 and over and present in select states, or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
Let's start with the Pistons because this one was crazy. This is when you really have to perk up in a way that you have not perked up before. And I mean as an NBA fan, because we know we look at the standings and we see this Pistons great record that they've got going so far. But then a game like last night where they're playing Indiana, and I know Indiana's record is crap, but they've got Nembhard back and they've got Mathurin back and Siakam's still in the lineup. So, like, they're starting and McConnell's back. Like, they've gotten their guys back. And you get a 15-point win by the Pistons with no Cade Cunningham, no Tobias Harris, no Asar Thompson. Like, they're doing it with a starting lineup of Dennis Jenkins, who has been chronicled on the Mismatch.
It's crazy.
Duncan Robinson, Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren. I mean, it is incredible what's going on there, and it's one of those times where you certainly have to perk up and go, oh, this isn't just a Cade operation that he's thrown this organization on his back, and if you got him, you got a chance. Like, there's something special going on there when you can win with that group.
I mean, 10 in a row, and Duren was just dominant in this one. Yep. Like, absolutely dominant down low. They lead the league in scoring in the paint. They lead the league in dunks. They lead the league in percentage of dunks. Like, they're just getting the ball to the rim, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I absolutely love the way that they look on offense. And this Dennis Jenkins thing is just indicative of sort of this season that they're having. It doesn't seem anyone wearing a Pistons uniform is just going to play over their skis. Everybody.
Jenkins thing, and we talked about him last week where I put him in my loves, where, you know, the same way that we had talked about Will Richard with the Warriors, it was like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And these guys, they dream their whole life, and then they're given the opportunity. And again, last night, the guy's got 26 points.
It's crazy.
He's got 26. He's had game-tying shots. He's had winning plays. Last night, he's starting and scoring 26. Like, where'd they find this guy? This is and for those that missed that last episode, 4 different colleges, ends up at Iona with Rick Pitino. Pitino loves him. Takes him to St. John's with him. Last year's playing in the G League. This year, by virtue of the Ivy and other injuries, like, this is one of those guys that could have very well never gotten his chance.
Yep.
As a two-way, right? But he's gotten it, and now this guy's going to get, like, he's going to have an NBA career out of this thing. It's great.
Oh, yeah, and it's not, we've all seen sort of like guys have one big night, but he's been consistent. Since he's gotten in there, he's been consistently scoring 20 points a game. It's really, really impressive. I absolutely love this Pistons team. You know, I was terrified of them in the playoffs last year, and I picked them to do well. And I'm not going to start taking a victory lap yet, but I know you're going to take a victory lap because of your Raptors. So why don't you just go ahead?
I mean, it's 8 of 9. 8 of 9 last night. Game-winning block by Scotty Barnes at the rim after some big Brandon Ingram shots down the stretch. The notorious BI3. That's what my guy Matt Devlin kept saying last night. The notorious BI3. Matt Devlin, who I love, the Raptors play-by-play voice. Interestingly enough, and you will have situations like this in your life. I met him when I was an intern for the West Tennessee Diamond Jacks AA baseball team, and I was the PR assistant. And so in minor league baseball, I really had to do basically.
I was about to say,
everything.
How much media is there to deal with when you're with the West Tennessee Diamond Jacks?
This is how ridiculous this gig is. Okay, I hated it. This is when I realized, okay, I want to be involved in sports, but not like this. This is how old I am. When the game would be over and I would have to go I would have to be the last person there at the office because they had a list of 100 outlets, okay? And I would have to fax the box score. And I'm like, none of these people care about this box score. I need to send it to the Jackson Sun, which is the local paper, and that's it. Nobody else in the world cares about this. And this is the way things were done. And so anyways, we host the AA All-Star game that year, and it was on this Fox affiliate, and Matt Devlin was super young play-by-play voice. And he showed up, and he was the only one kind of near my age. And he was super cool to me the entire week while we were there. And I made friends with him. And then, unbelievably, he became the first voice of the Grizzlies on TV. He was the first one. And then obviously as time went on, he moved away and he got that Toronto Raptors gig. But I love, I know the guy, so I love the guy, and I know how excited he gets. And listening to a broadcast of a team that has unbelievable vibes and is doing something for the first time is such a treat because the enthusiasm comes through, right? When Quickly's making a play, when Barnes is making a play, when Ingram's making a play, and they've won 8 of 9, and you watch them interacting with each other, and it's oh man, this team's got some really good vibes going. And look at their schedule. This is not getting worse. This is going to keep getting better here for a little while because their schedule is soft. And so the Raptors are going to be a thing. They're going to be a thing for sure.
And Darko is super fun. I mean, we celebrated him after the first win of the season, but the post game chain for Brandon Ingram, and he just seems genuinely authentic in his enthusiasm. You can't fake that stuff. Sometimes some people are rah-rah guys and, give the speech and scream and hug and get fired up. And other guys are more stoic on the sidelines. And he seems to be genuinely enthusiastic and excited about his team. And it is nothing, when you win 8 of 9, there's a lot to be excited about.
The other thing on the other side, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, on all of these rookie ladder things and whatever, I haven't seen, but my son actually mentioned this to me last night. Because Con Knipple hit another shot, and we were and he had 20 something, and he's like, how come he's not in any of those? Right? It's always Coward and Edgecombe and Flag, and even Kalkbrenner's gotten some love recently. Con Knipple, look at his numbers for a rookie. The numbers are great for a rookie. Usually there is a longer amount of time it takes for you to find a comfort zone and be able to score double digits and shoot good percentages. But he has been he's been a revelation for the Hornets so far. It looks like that's a hit.
And he's getting opportunity too. Yes. when you have guys injured like that, you have an opportunity as a rookie to put up 20 points and shoot high percentages, and he has. It was a great looking game last night. The court and the uniforms, it was just it went down to the wire. It was just a really good basketball experience. Shout out to Toronto.
That wood court with the huge dinosaur in the middle is unbelievable. Probably the best game last night was the Bulls winning in Denver, which this can't be overstated. That they just played double overtime, did they not?
Yeah,
right
against the
before
Jazz. There's a back-to-back. So they're coming off a back-to-back and traveling, and it was overtime.
The trap of all double overtime, trap of all traps
in Denver.
Yeah,
altitude, everything. That is a loss. That is a schedule loss, and they won. Shocking.
Yeah, and their bench was absolutely mauling the Nuggets bench, but you get to the fourth quarter, and it felt like the Nuggets are just going to walk them down, right? Okay, here comes winning time. Now we're going to walk you down. And they did. They did walk them down and then took the lead. And then the Bulls made some huge plays down the stretch. Ayo made a big one. Vucci Main hit a huge three. They made some big plays down the stretch, but they outscored the Nuggets bench. We have talked about, like, hey, really like what the Nuggets did this offseason, and they've got they're more fortified than they were in the past. Their bench got outscored 66-9 last night.
I saw that stat and I had to look at it again. I was like, wait a second, this can't be real. I was like, let me check this out. And I thought Murray played well, Jokic played well, Cam Johnson sort of had a breakout game. They've been they've been winning so much that no one's really talking about that Cam Johnson hasn't been playing that well. But he was 5 for 7 from 3 and played well. And this one was when the Nuggets started to come back in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, here we go again. Of course, this is going to happen. Yeah. And the Bulls started hot, but I think they lost like 5 in a row or something going into this one. Like they were not on top of things. And I thought it was a gutty performance from the Bulls who needed that win on a back-to-back too.
And we say a million times, it's not how necessarily an individual player's loss individually is what can be so tough. It is how it affects the group. And the Brown thing just makes you lighter, right? With Christian Brown out, now a team you're counting on, and now guys are moved out of their roles, and it has this domino effect. Next thing you know, like, and the other thing is like Valanciunas, who we both really like. I mean, was unplayable. He played last night. Jonas Valanciunas played 4 minutes and was a minus 15.
What?
Like, that is impossible, Jacoby.
How? How many possessions can there be in 4 minutes?
How can there be?
To get down 15?
And unbelievably, he wasn't the worst. Spencer Jones. Go look that name up. Spencer Jones played 6 minutes and was minus 16. I mean, it was like they couldn't even go with these guys for 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Jesus.
I mean, it's like, okay. Like and again, it's one night, but that Bulls group, I also want to give them a little shout out. The bench they bring off the group they bring off the bench is dogs. Like Dosunmu comes off, and then Javon Carter comes off, and it's like Herter's making plays, and Patrick Williams is now trying to fly around, and they got like this group that like really
Jalen Smith.
You want them to change the pace. You want them to, like, do something, and they do. Like, I kind of like watching them. They're kind of fun, the Bulls.
And Giddey is, like, an absolute revelation this year.
He's awesome.
Like, he is awesome. He's like a James Harden style, like engine of an offense. It's really impressive.
And what's wild is their bench got their starters got slaughtered. But their bench was just so much better than the Nuggets that won them the game. And so shout out to the Bulls bench. Other ones we had, what a bummer for Giannis to go out in that. It was a close Cavs-Bucks game.
Mm-hmm. That was a good game.
At halftime, I was like, oh, this is going to get good. I could not take the court and the jersey combo.
Oh, my God. What are we doing? What are we doing?
That? What are we doing?
That? Whose idea is this? Who signed off on this? I want answers. Listen, FBI, if you're going to investigate gambling and everything, investigate this court. Investigate the design, who designed it, who signed off on it, who painted it. There's so many people that need to be held accountable for this ridiculous. Remember we talked about how good the Raptors game looked? This game was atrocious looking.
It's the combo though, right? I sent you a picture of it while we were watching it last night. It's a combination of the two. If you had white jerseys, I can get down with the orange court. That's fine. Or if you had like blue jerseys, the orange jerseys and the orange court is just entirely too much. You're doing too much.
It's terrible. And
Yep.
The court was bad. The game was tight. But the Giannis thing was just such a bummer because right on the back of the Wemby news, it's like Wemby's out with a calf. They say a few weeks. Who knows how long that's going to be. But Giannis, it didn't – I watched it so many times, the replays, and I can't really figure out what happened, which is more concerning. It's almost like a non-contact injury or something.
Yeah, and these soft tissues, it's gone on around the league. We're starting to see them pop up. And to wit, wait till you see tonight people's reaction when they're going, what the hell? Why is this on? NBC flexed in the Spurs-Grizzlies game tonight because they didn't have Wemby much. And now no Wemby and no Morant on NBC.
No
oh, my God. They're going to be like, yo, is there like a Law and Order rerun we can put on? Who? The calls that are going to be made.
Judy tape.
Because at NBC, there's going to be some like non-sports fan, and he's going to be texting around like some executive. He's going to be like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, who chose this? Who chose Jock Landau versus what's the guy? Luke Cornette or something? Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Cornette's going to start.
I know.
He's going to start in the game.
My God.
That's in Memphis, right?
And those are it's in San Antonio.
Oh, it's in San Antonio.
Yeah, and both those guys have the calf injuries. The Heat beat the Knicks.
Ugh.
Oh, I can imagine. I imagine if I was at the bagel shop this morning, I would have heard, why doesn't Deuce just pass the ball?
What is Deuce doing? What is Deuce doing?
I love Deuce
doing?
Throw the ball to Cat.
That's exactly right. Why doesn't Cat have the ball? Why is Deuce taking a left-handed floater off the top of the backboard with like 10 seconds left in the game, and we're not getting Karl Anthony Towns the ball? It was so frustrating. I mean, they were down like 7 with like a minute and a half left, and they hit some big shots just to get in that position. But the end of the game was just so awkward with this phantom goaltending call. They just called goaltending. It was clearly not a goaltend on Ware. And then there's like the ball's bouncing around, but the whistle blew. So then it ends up being a jump ball. And Deuce had a great game. He had a great game. He had a great dunk.
This is a guy. Look, I understand it, and this is why
I do not understand. Make me understand it. Make me understand that shot, please.
Okay, because the great of Deuce McBride is the no conscience, right? This is like these are the guys that Bill Simmons used to always talk about with the Eddie Houses and the Ricky Davises and whoever, right? And so he looks around and goes, Jalen Brunson ain't here to save us. It's Deuce time. It's Deuce
I think
time.
Wasn't Mitchell on him?
Huh?
Wasn't off night on him? Like, what are you doing?
He couldn't care less who was on him.
What are you doing?
That's his time.
Bridges can't get the ball. Cat can't get the ball.
I'll get us home. That's what he said.
God.
He said, I'll get us home. And
Did you catch his dunk? Did you catch his dunk?
Yes. I would love to see the sports science on how high Khalil Ware was. Fully extended, jumping up to block that shot. Like it had to have been 14 feet in the air.
I love
that. Was crazy.
Yeah. He had a big dunk at the end of the game, too.
It was so crazy that the ref was like, that had to be something.
He just blew the whistle.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. That looked weird. I don't know. I don't know what rule was broken, but I saw something strange and I blew the whistle. I'll figure it out in the replay. Let's just have a jump ball. My bad. Inadvertent.
Look, you're just going to have to hold the fort down while Brunson and OG
It's
are
OG.
out.
The OG part is tough, too. And one of the things about Brunson being out for a month and a half, 2 months last year that was so nice was OG and Bridges sort of found themselves in the offense in his absence. And it doubly hurts to have OG out at the same time as Brunson because they can't sort of make up for the lack of offensive production. But good game from Deuce. Bad shot from Deuce. Good game from Deuce.
Yeah, and it was a fun game to watch. Like they gave us an entertaining game.
Did you see Landry Shamet had 36 over the weekend? Landry Shamet, 36 points. Not on the season, in a game.
Stay around.
Oh,
keep getting contract. We had the Sixers beating the Los Angeles Clippers, this one went down to the wire as well. And at the beginning of the season, I opined to you, I said, Maxey, next superstar?
Oh, yeah.
Look, this is the conversation.
At 39 points.
Oh, go look at his numbers this year. This is like, he has gone from, hey, he's one of the better guards in the Eastern Conference, probable all-star, for years to come, to hold the phone now. Is this going to be are we going to be looking up and it's like him and Cade and this like Brunson, this group of Eastern Conference point guards that are just the best player on their team?
Easily.
Like, I don't know if going into this year, people thought Tyrese Maxey is going to be the best player on it, can be the best player on an awesome team, right? And at least through the first 12 to 15 games of the season, he has made those questions like irrelevant. Like, he for sure can. He is over and over again the best player on the floor.
And he plays with such speed and force and efficiency. Like, to go that fast and to score with the efficiency that he does is unfathomable. The floater is just unstoppable. And when he's in transition, there's absolutely nothing you can do.
Well, and what a deal with, obviously, Embiid having no legs and the George thing working out beyond miserably. If you're Daryl Morey, you're sitting around and you're going, all right, how do I best build out around Maxey and Edgecombe, right? I've got this group right now. Now, how, like, the way you look at your team for the future, like, somehow a team that was expected to have a dismal future given their plight and what's happened with these two big money players, now they look like they have an intensely bright future because the Edgecombe things looks like you nailed it. And what Maxey has become, which is star of stars. I mean, this guy's he's got to be in the top 5 in the league in scoring right now. I haven't checked this morning.
He was leading the league. I think Luka's leading the league now, but I think he's second. He's averaging like 33 a game. Luka's got him by like 0.2 points or something.
33, almost 8 assists and almost 5 rebounds.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
And the eye test is crazy. When I watch him, I'm like, I think he's the best player in the league. It's like, it's unstoppable.
Yeah, this guy.
Unstoppable. What's he shooting from 3? Like 43% or something?
Right. And on the other side, you want to talk about not only a bleak present and a bleak future, that Clippers team that they were able to walk down last night. But Maxey, again, best player on the floor. And
Paul George came back and it was insignificant.
Yeah.
Absolutely insignificant to the Sixers.
That's right. Two other things.
Paul George is back. Who cares?
As expected, the Thunder just kept on rocking. You see the Pelicans game. It's not even.
I think they're up by 30 in like seconds. I didn't even turn the game on. I was like, "What is this?" It was like 40-10 or something. It was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just fed to the Wolves on that one. Speaking of the actual Wolves, they played the Mavs. What a weird deal they've got going on. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you were to pull up the Wolves schedule, they have lost to everyone good, and then they've beaten everybody bad. Go look at it's very weird so far. And so now the trick is going to be, I think they play Oklahoma City. That's going to be a very, very good barometer just to kind of see where they are. This is a team that's been in 2 consecutive Western Conference finals. But if you look so far at their season, their losses are to the Lakers, Denver, the Lakers, the Knicks, and Denver. So they've played good teams, but like those are their losses. And then their wins are like Charlotte, Brooklyn, Utah, Sacramento, Dallas last night. And so I just don't feel like, some of their metrics, some of their defensive metrics are certainly down. They're doing the whole no point guard thing, where they're kind of running Dante out there and bringing Conley off the bench. But they later, I guess that we're going to have to wait until next week, honestly, because they've got Washington at Phoenix at Sac are their next 3, so they'll probably be able to run that up. But next Wednesday, let's circle that one so we could see them play against Oklahoma City. So it's a weird record just so far. Like they've got a good record, but they're the only team in the league that has beaten everybody under 500, but has lost to everybody over 500 that they've played.
If you remember, the Knicks were like that last year. The Knicks were like this last year. They'd lost. They got swept by the Cavs. They just like any sort of formidable opponent they could not beat. And, we'll see. I think it'll be good to see them go up against the Thunder. And I'm not saying, hey, they need to win or whatever, but at least have a good showing, keep it close, and make Shea play in the fourth, please.
Also, just let's see that'll be the barometer. It's actually a week from tomorrow, and we'll just kind of see because we have not seen this team. Like, it's kind of, we know the outcomes. They are way better than these 500 or less teams, but they don't have a good win yet, right? And so that would be obviously a spectacular one at Oklahoma City if they were able to pull that off. So,
or a signature ant game. We haven't really had a signature ant game this year either.
Not yet. That is kind of what went on last night.
The Mismatch is brought to you by FanDuel. Get in on NBA action at any time with live betting on FanDuel. From the first whistle until the final buzzer, FanDuel is your home for live betting. And we've got some games this evening. Verno does not listen to the ad reads, so I'm not even going to pay any attention to that Grizzlies Spurs game with no Ja Morant and no Wemby. But I do have my eye on the Magic and the Warriors. The Warriors are going to be on the road. Steph Curry, still one of the best shows in the league, will go up against those perimeter defenders for the Magic. Let's see if the Warriors can get a win there. And the Hawks and the Pistons, two of the surprise stories of the season thus far. They go head-to-head in Atlanta. I have the Pistons win again in that one as well. And that is what I will be focused on my FanDuel app, because FanDuel is giving new customers $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/mismatch to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Remember, you must be 21 and over and present in select states, or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
We have 3 early season surprises each from what we have seen thus far. You want me to start?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with the Willie Green dismissal, and not because Willie Green got dismissed. You expect when you get new management in that didn't hire the guy, your team stinks anyway. Like, it's not Willie Green's fault that the Pelicans stink, okay? So he probably got a little bit of a raw deal here. That being said, I'm always a little surprised. I guess it's like, okay, well, let's just run him out there and then we'll see how it goes. Like, if you already knew that this wasn't the coach that you wanted, because it happens so quickly. It happens 12 games into the season. But I went and looked, and I was like, I wonder how many guys have been fired in less than 12 games.
Huh.
Jacoby, I am here to tell you.
I saw some stat. Someone got fired after 1.
This is a record that can never be broken. Never. Dolph Schayes, legend, was coaching the Buffalo Braves. And they played their first game, and they lost by 33 to the Sonics. And he got fired. One game. One game. So then I was like, well, that's crazy. And obviously the owner hated him, right? And the owner was super impulsive, got mad, and fired the guy. I tried to find like old articles about it. That's basically what happened. That this guy was like he was one of those guys that had a very short fuse anyway. So here's the owner, goes to the game. They lose by 33. He's like, the hell with it. We're getting rid of the coach, right?
The Buffalo Braves.
Yeah, Buffalo Braves. I was in stunned disbelief because I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a crazy story and whatever. There's been a bunch of guys fired in less than 12 games. In 2012, 2013, Mike Brown, the head coach of the New York Knicks, the Lakers started off 1-4, and they canned him. Earl Watson, 3 games for the 2017-2018 Suns, and they canned him. Okay? Gene Shue, the 77-78 76ers, they started off 2-4. That's not that bad. I mean, you can get back to 500 pretty quick. They canned him. Paul Westphal, the 2011 Kings, 7 games.
Oh, that's right.
Earl Lloyd, the 72-73 Pistons, 7 games. Dr. Jack Ramsey, the legend, the ESPN legend. The 88 Pacers started out 0-7, and they canned Dr. Jack.
0-7 I can get. If the 2-4 is tough.
And then this is crazy. A team that I covered, the 2002-2003 Memphis Grizzlies fired Sidney Lowe after 8 games, 0-8 to start the season.
Oh, my God.
And they fired him. But, like, if you're Willie Green, I don't know. I guess just I wanted to give the historical perspective because I was thinking, damn, man, it can't be that many guys that have been fired in less than 12 games. It's actually happened way more than I thought it had. Way more.
Recently, too.
Yeah.
A lot of that's this century. It's not all in the 70s.
I mean, if you're Willie Green, you're like, hey, at least I lasted 12. At least I'm not Dolph Shays. One game
in Buffalo, too.
Unbreakable sports records. It's never mentioned. But Dolph Shays getting fired.
Maybe someone will get fired after one preseason game. We can break that.
Maybe. All right. So obviously that was my first surprise.
So my first surprise, and this is something that I'm genuinely taken aback by, is just how bad, what a complete disaster the Los Angeles Clippers are. And because I'm just months removed from them being the hottest team heading into the playoffs last year, to them having second in defensive rating, to James Harden feeling like, all right, you've got him and a couple scorers, Norm Powell making a leap, and, Kawhi, if he's healthy. Remember, you came on here. We had a Kawhi game. We had a Kawhi game where you were like, if Kawhi is back and if he is the playoff performer that he once was, this team can make a championship run. And now they just look so bad. They've lost 8 of their last 9. They blew a double-digit fourth quarter lead last night. They're 4-10. They're tied with the Grizzlies. That's bad. They're only above the Mavericks, the Kings, and the Pelicans. They're on a 7-game road trip, and it's not going to get better. There's no Kawhi. There's no Beal. Now Derrick Jones is out. And if you look at their bench, we all knew they were old. Chris Paul, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Lopez, Harden, Leonard, they just feel so old and slow and bad. And I don't see how they get better. And to top it off, they owe their pick to the Thunder.
Okay. 2 things on this. Shockingly bad. But there was a moment where I was watching the Amazon crew, which 20-second timeout. I'm falling in love with them.
This is
20.
Yeah.
I'm falling in love with them.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know.
I do.
I called it. I called it a couple weeks ago.
Rooks, Dirk, Haslam, Blake.
Nash.
Oh, I love it. I do. I like all the personalities. I like all of those people. I really do.
And they're not just having yucks either. They're giving you real X's and O's breakdowns.
And there was a moment where I was watching the Amazon crew, and I was like, oh, God. And because, of course, I was high on the Clippers going into the season, or at least thought that they could be a very good team. Blake Griffin said that he would be the 5th oldest player on the Clippers.
Oh, my God.
And I almost fell off my couch.
Would the Amazon crew beat the Clippers in an NBA basketball game?
I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then he listed them off. He was like, Paul Batum.
Yeah, Lopez.
I was like, what is going on? I guess you just never think about it in a context like that. But Blake Griffin's sitting on the couch and he's like,
and Blake has been cooked for 4 years.
What in the world? You mean He wouldn't even be close. He wouldn't even be close to the oldest. It's wild. And then the second thing is, here's a question that is worthy of conversation, I think. Do you think that all the off-the-court stuff has some effect?
No.
I'm saying all the aspiration stuff, and then Pablo going on, saying that Ty Lue's at every poker game that's ever been played, and his best friends are Chauncey Billups. Like, I don't know, man. I do feel like your head might be like, if your owner's all stressed out all the time, and Lawrence Frank's all stressed out all the time, and then Ty Lue's like, damn it, when is Pablo Torre going to report the next? I don't know. I do think that there might be something to. It's been catastrophic news.
When you're in
really
Philly in the fourth quarter, you don't care about aspiration, carbon
I'm talking
cutting,
about big picture.
Tree planting, circumvention. No. You don't care. It's the fourth quarter. You're in Philly. You're a basketball player playing basketball.
That's
I don't
small
think
picture.
this has any effect. I think Kawhi Leonard not playing has a lot of effect. And then tell me what's hurt on Kawhi Leonard. Is it his ankle or his foot or both?
I think it's
his knees or what? Everything's always hurt on Kawhi. Just Google it. See what's hurt on him. It's something new every day. I'm upset. Chris Paul's getting DMPs. I don't think the poker games or the circumvention or aspiration or Wong or Ballmer, any of that is anything to do with this. They're just bad. And look at the coaching. Everyone's telling me that Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league. I've heard that for a decade.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think that they would probably be bad either way, right? Not this bad, but the age. The year they're having this year is the year that some expect last year, where people were saying they're too old, right? And so they're going to drop like flies. And then when they do drop like flies, there is no Norm Powell to come.
Norm Powell, I think Norm Powell is very important for them. Of
course, it's a big loss, big loss. He made you forget that Kawhi Leonard doesn't play basketball, right? But Kawhi didn't play last year. He played 30-something games last year. All I'm telling you is when I start the podcast and we're talking about, man, like there's something about good vibes, and Raptors have the good vibes going right now, and the Pistons have the good vibes going. I'm telling you, that building that everybody goes to every day has a cloud over it. When the owner is in that, it had this going on, when the GM has had this going on, when the coach has had this going on, it does affect things. I'm not talking about the fourth quarter against the Sixers in a, win or lose game. I'm talking about the big operation. And it's very hard to have good vibes. I'm telling you, there's going to be a stress level that's going on around that permeates. I believe that to be true. And they might not have been good anyway. I'm just saying, I do think that off the court things can have an effect, because I've been in an NBA building. And I know what it's like the day after somebody gets hurt, or the day after, and like this thing.
Or your star player says, why don't you ask the coach why they don't want me in the game, or something like that. Perhaps.
Right.
You've been around that sort of environment.
It just permeates things, man. It does. Everybody's like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, especially because the owner is involved and he's omnipresent amongst that organization.
Well, we celebrate teams like the Suns because they're getting the most out of Royce O'Neal and Devin Booker, and these role players are sort of like taking a leap. Or you look at someone like Duncan Robinson in Detroit, or Jalen Duren in Detroit, and all these, like, the opposite is happening with the Clippers. Somehow Zubac, it's night and day this year and last year with him. And, and Leonard's not even there. Derek Jones is hurt now. And you look up and down the roster, and it just feels like it's just not working, and I don't see how they turn it around.
Next surprise. How is 37-year-old Steph Curry still the most fun player to watch in the NBA? I mean, that show he put on over the weekend against the Spurs, shooting over Wemby, and 95 points in 2 games. Like, it is unbelievable to me that, it's just that we're this far into it. 37 years old. And if you did not know what year it was, we all in the Olympics a couple of years ago, that was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, it really was. It was the greatest thing ever to watch that unfold. But still, at when he is going, when he is at his apex, when he's like feeling it, there's nobody. There's still nobody like him. There's nobody more fun to watch him. And I'm no Warriors fan, but my God, I respect it. And I watch him and I'm like, dude, it's so crazy. The shot making is insane.
Well, for me, it's the level of just physical output that he puts in night after night. If you look at older players like Dirk, he's just 7 feet tall. He's shooting a fadeaway. You look at LeBron, he's just using his strength and guile and intelligence. Right. But Steph Curry is just putting miles on the odometer, running in circles, cutting off the ball, giving up the ball, cutting away, running around again, going off of this screen, dribble handoff, and then off of this, and then shooting like a one-footed off-balance three, and then running back before he even sees it goes through the net. Like, he puts so much energy and effort into every game that it is unlike other older players where you see their age.
Oh, my God. I mean, you think about 37. And you could just have a list of guys that are like his age. And that's just not what it, like, we have just broken this. In between LeBron and now him, we've just broken this, like, what you're supposed to look like.
Well, look at Vince Carter on the Hawks. He was like a catch and shoot corner three guy. You know what I mean? Like, he completely changed his game. Whereas Steph, I mean, he looks a little bit older, sure, but it doesn't feel like a dramatically different Steph than it was 10 years ago.
I mean, I can't, and then like those Spurs games. I mean, it's 95 points. Like, he looks like the best player in the world in those games.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you still the guy? How? It's honestly, truly crazy when you think about, like, Mike Conley's 37. Eric Gordon is 37.
They look 37.
Like, these are guys that are 37 years old.
And if you look at the roster, there's not a ton of help on that roster either.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy to watch. And the fact that he can, like, still take over games and be the guys. I'm going to, the oldest guys in the NBA, Chris Paul's 40, Lowry is 39, Garrett Temple's 39, Al Horford's 39. Obviously, I already mentioned LeBron.
Yeah,
Jeff Green, 39.
All those guys look and feel old, though. Steph does not.
Oh, no, that's why I'm listing them. Joe Ingles, 38. Mike Conley, 38. Steph Curry, 37. Like,
everybody else on that list looks and feels like an old man playing basketball.
Outside of LeBron.
Look at the minutes that those guys play.
No, and then
look at the minutes.
Hey, I'll go further. Brook Lopez, 37.
Like, no minutes.
Right. He's the next one. And then Kevin Love.
Like, none of these, team are except for LeBron. LeBron is he's in now, whatever.
Well, and Durant.
No team.
Durant's 37.
Yes. I would say outside of LeBron and Durant, those players are not being relied upon by their teams. They're there to be a veteran presence in the locker room. Like Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love. Like, what are we talking about?
How amazing both Curry, LeBron, and Durant are at their advanced age is like take a moment, because that's, we keep on saying we need to pass the torch, and I'm watching those games over the weekend. I'm like, bro, if I'm putting a game on TV, this is the dude to put on TV. Him and Wemby. Honestly, it's like him and Wemby, except Wemby's like, 14.
Yeah. And hurt.
Crazy.
That's a good one.
Now he's hurt.
So here's one thing that surprised me. And it's not that it's happening, it's how early and how loud it's happening, is the star player trades that are flying around, and we're in like week 4 of the season. And I've already seen a million different Anthony Davis destinations. I've seen a million different trade. Oh, now we have to trade Trae Young because the Hawks are winning games. Now we have to trade Trae Young. John Morant. Oh, no, we got to trade John Morant. Yep. It just feels like those 3 examples to me are surprising because it's so early and there's still so much season left to play for those 3 teams that it's like all of a sudden, like, oh, we got to trade these guys. There's realistic trades out there, like the Zion, Sabonis, Markkanen. Those sort of make sense to me.
The Kings?
Yeah, all the Kings, all the Pelicans, all the Grizzlies. But Young, Davis, and Morant are just sort of like, is that what we're doing now? Like, we have to trade Anthony Davis, we have to trade Morant, we have to trade Trae Young?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing already?
We started early. It's November. You know what I mean?
It feels like it was just Halloween a week ago, and it's like, oh, Trae Young, got to trade him. Why do we have to trade Trae Young? Because the Hawks are winning games. Okay, like I
Do
guess.
you think you're right? Is your ceiling higher with or without said player? Come on.
Well, also,
Of course.
all these players have huge contracts. So
Right.
what is the market? Like, who's like, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to take on a $50 million player that somebody else doesn't want. That's what I want to do as in my franchise. Anthony Davis, oh, you're the fat hurt guy? Yeah. $50 million. He's got an option for like $62 million in 3 years. Yeah, I'll take him. I'll put together a bunch of draft assets to trade for him.
You don't like that. You don't like the trade talk already.
I just don't see it happening. Like, who's trading for Anthony Davis? Who?
No.
Who? Where is Trae Young going?
Right.
Where?
Right.
Where? The Timberwolves? Like, no.
Just as soon as they started winning some games, right? And obviously, their ceiling gets much, much higher if they have Trae Young. I mean, I don't.
Yes.
Sometimes people that talk about this stuff don't understand playoff basketball, right? It's a different world. When you have the guy that can garner the attention that he has to garner, he makes everybody better, and even despite his flaws.
Who are you giving the ball to?
They ain't doubling. I'm
clutch.
telling you, they ain't going to be doubling. Right.
Jalen Johnson. Yeah. Dyson
Right.
Daniels, you give him the ball?
Right.
Like, no,
And-
Trae Young
and-
is he's
and
Trae.
if you want them doubled, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to turn out to be Julius Randle with the Knicks. It's like, you're not equipped to do this, right? That's a different breed. The different breed, like you, and they may put up bad numbers, but they are the gravity. Make no mistake about that. When it comes to playoff basketball, you better have somebody that's offensively talented like that. Or else that guy you think is offensively talented in the regular season, he's getting shut out.
Yeah.
Because he ain't built for that. He ain't built for all the attention. When a team builds their regular season, they ain't building their defense every night to stop you. That's not the way this goes. But so yeah, pause on the Trae Young thing. Let that thing play out. Right?
I mean,
because it wins some games without him.
The Anthony Davis, Kyrie stuff, I kind of understand just because the Mavericks are falling apart in the timelines.
And your GM's gone. And he's a constant reminder of the worst moment of your life.
Yeah. Every single day. And he's fat now. But like, my thing with the Anthony Davis is it does make sense for them to sort of like move off this 2 timeline thing because they're not competitive as currently constructed. I just don't see a market at all for Anthony Davis. Like, what GM is like, you know what I really want? Anthony Davis on my roster.
Right. No one.
Karl Anthony Towns for Anthony Davis. I heard that. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
why?
no.
Why would the Knicks do that? Why?
My last surprise.
What about Ja? How can we check in on Ja? Mental health check-in?
He's out.
How we doing? I know.
He's out.
How's Memphis, though?
Two to 3 weeks.
How's the city? What's going on?
What are you talking about?
It's a mess.
Just watch the Spurs game tonight.
It's a mess. No one's watching the Spurs game tonight.
Let me tell you, I almost ran into traffic over the weekend. On Saturday, hey, not that anybody was watching except for me. They played the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Zach Edey was back. And everything looked different for 6 minutes. He's setting the screen, and a guy's dying on it. Morant's turning the corner, throwing a lob to him. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s not having to do all the baloney, so he's going off. And I'm like, it's not the individual player, it's how the individual player affects the group. And it's like just not having Jock Landale in there and having this monster. When you see Edey on the court, you'll see him tonight. He's 7'5", bro. It looks freakish out there. And he takes up all manner of space. And then 6 minutes in, Morant gets hurt, and I'm like, okay, I'm running into traffic. Like it was a fun. I got to have fun for 6 minutes this season. 6 minutes.
The same thing happens in the playoffs against the Thunder. Remember the Game 3? It was
unbelievable.
Awesome. It was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Game 3 was amazing.
And then
Morant
my happiness is so short-lived, it's unbelievable. So now, my last surprise, what I do to be happy, I just watched Raptors games. And the Raptors bench being the second best bench statistically in the NBA is one of the wildest things ever. That's when you know you got vibes, bro. Because this bench, Jamal Shed, Grady Dick, Murray Boyles, Mamu,
Jacoby,
and Jacoby Walter, right? who spells it much different.
Yeah.
But then they got these other guys, right? Like Battle and Lost. But the guys that play, and the fact, the number one bench in the NBA is, who do you think? Come on.
So this is what, just points per game production?
Yeah, net rating.
Thunder.
I win. Yes.
Thunder. Yeah.
But yes, they are for sure the best. Meaning, we play out 100 possessions. Does my bench win or lose? So the Thunder, to wit, going through before last night's games, were plus 5.7 net rating, which is awesome for a bench. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. If your bench wins on a regular basis, is great. The Raptors are second, plus 5. I mean, not what you would have expected.
Well, because the Thunder bench also plays with a lead a lot, too, which I don't think helps you in this stat.
Right.
Because you're not in pressure situations where you feel like you have to score. It's kind of garbage timey, getting up and down.
All right. Last night, notwithstanding, the Nuggets bench has been performing well in their time. And then the Rockets and then the Suns, who are a surprise so far. But I just don't think that the Raptors, it felt like a team that we were going to look and we were going to go, wow, they got Brandon Ingram and they got Scotty Barnes and they got Quickly and they got RJ and they got Portal. They got good players, even though they still haven't figured out the Barnes Ingram together thing and they're better staggered. But we figured it was top heavy. I wasn't looking. You're not looking at the Raptors bench and going,
shed.
This is the advantage. Here's our advantage tonight. But it has been a big part of their win streak, or winning 8 out of 9, has been their bench has been a massive advantage for them. Maybe they all just want that huge chain that Darko gives out.
They probably want the chain.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Brandon Ingram spin the chain.
So good. The notorious BI3.
So I'm not breaking news here, but what has been so surprising to me is just how frustrating it is to watch the Thunder games. This Pelicans game last night was they run out. They had a 20-point lead, and it was 8:15 Eastern. You know what I mean? It was just what? And then they get up. So they had a lead by 10, less than 3 minutes into the game, and 20 before 8 minutes had elapsed. And then they had it on one of the TVs at a rec league game. So I was watching all the games at once and watching one of the TVs. And they've got Brooks Barnhizer in the game. Brandon Carlson's in the game. Playing big minutes. And then I started talking to one of my buddies. I was like, they don't even have their number one pick from the last 2 years available to them. Topich and Sorber are not playing. Topich has testicular cancer, and Sorber has got an ACL. So those guys aren't even available. They're going to have, there's a million ways that this could play out, but most likely they're going to have 3 first-round picks this year. So their last 2 first-round picks aren't playing. They go deep as all hell. You just mentioned they've got the best bench in the game. You can't score on them. SGA never plays a fourth quarter. Chet is again, taking a leap. Hartenstein is the best rebounder in the league. It's so frustrating to watch them and to think this team will just never go away. They've got their 2 number 1 picks from the last 2 years not available to them. They're going to have 3 number 1 picks this year. Think about that.
Yes, we're gonna look up, and there's gonna be 4. You remember how we looked at that? You look at that old Thunder team, and you're like, they ended up having 3 NBA MVPs, and we're gonna look up, and it's gonna be Gilgeous-Alexander, Holmgren, Williams, and AJ Mitchell. All became league MVPs.
AJ Mitchell just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
And everyone just focuses on offense, but they just the Pelicans just look terrified. They just look terrified every time they had the ball. They could not do anything.
Yeah, but we just have to wait until they lose guys. Honestly.
I don't even know.
Well, no, because of the how all of them have increased their value so greatly that if you put them out on the open market now, the Kason Wallaces of the world, the Lou Dortz of the world, all of them are going to and they're not going to probably be the same player in another uniform.
No,
but it's you're not going to be able to pay all these guys, man. This is crazy. But then you're not even going to need to.
But then they're restocked with picks.
Yeah, we just have
Let's say you
guys
can't
that
pay
are
Lou
available.
Dort or whatever.
Right.
Lou Dort, by the way, is like somehow hitting shots this year.
Yes.
You can't pay Lou Dort, so he walks. Guess what? Kason Wallace is right there.
Right.
He's right there.
Or Caruso. Or
Caruso,
AJ
Topic.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
or,
one of these guys, like they've just got, it seems like they've got 3 waves of players.
Yeah. Barnhizer. That's just making a mockery of everyone.
I'm watching this. It was in garbage time. I'm looking over. I'm like, I don't even. What is happening? There's like 4 white guys on the floor. I'm like, what? And they're still winning. They're winning those minutes. I'm like, who are these guys?
Those are our surprises so far from the early season. I do want to mention real quickly, just a funny story. So at the beginning of the podcast, I talked about the whole Matt Devlin thing and how I met him so many years ago. The one thing that I remembered, I hadn't thought about this in so many years until last year with him doing the whole deal and with BI3 and everything. So at that AA All-Star game that I was talking about, it was like the biggest deal. Like we had like a Legends game, and like Dave Parker showed up, and like Gaylord Perry had like Gaylord Perry was 380 pounds and had a jersey with every team he had played for on it. George Foster, who was part of the Big Red Machine, was like 40 something, and he hit a bomb in the Legends game. Like,
really?
He was ripped. Like, so some of the legends looked amazing and some of the legends looked like crap. But it was the biggest deal that the game day host was Wink Martindale. All right? Wink Martindale, who was the game show
football
host.
coach? Oh,
no.
Oh, yes.
Not that Wink Martindale from the Ravens.
Yeah,
Wink Martindale, who hosted Tic-Tac-Toe, which was one of those shows that we would watch when we stayed home from school, right? The game show. I've never been
Tic-Tac-Toe. What was the other one I loved? The no whammies, no whammies, no whammies?
Pressure luck.
Yeah.
So I've never been more excited to meet someone than Wink Martindale. Like, he shows up and he is like, he's a game show host the whole time. That's not an act. He's just that guy. Nice to meet you. You know, like that's how he talks to people. And I'm like, this is awesome. I can't tell you how many days I stayed home sick from school and watched friggin' Tic-Tac-Toe, right? But Wink Martindale's there. And so anyways, I hadn't thought about it in like 25 years. And I went and looked it up. Bro, he died in April. Wink Martindale.
Oh, no.
He died. And then this is the reason I'm saying this. It said, when I looked it up, poor guy, he was 91, so he lived a full life.
Sure did.
It said Wink Martindale died April 14th or April 15th, 2025. And I was like, I'll be damned. I was like, I didn't even see that news. Poor Wink. You know,
Wink.
I would have certainly done thoughts and prayers or something. And so anyways, he passed away. And then like the next like Google thing, it said Tic-Tac-Toe makes its return to the Game Show Network. Hand to God.
Tic-Tac-Toe?
Bro, yeah, that was the name of the show
coming
I watched.
Back?
No, it did come back. Hand to God.
Reruns?
No, with a new host, and it said it came back April 14th, 2025. And I went, no way. Bro,
the day before he passed. So he watched Tic-Tac-Toe come back and said, my job is done here on this planet.
I think so.
Wow, Wink.
What a world. It said that. It was the next article. It said Tic-Tac-Toe makes its return. The show once famously hosted by Wink Martindale. And then I went and like checked it again. And I was like, no way. It premiered. It's on Game Show Network. I didn't even know. Tic-Tac-Toe is awesome. You have to answer questions and then you get to put your X or your 0. But there's also like a dragon that pops up that can block you.
The blocking dragon. Do you know what? I love the no whammies one, press your luck, and I loved Love Connection. With who was it? Chuck Woolery?
Yes.
We'll be back in 2 and 2 is such a classic. Yes. We'll be back in 2 and 2. No one else in the history of television has ever gone to break with that. We'll be back
at 2 Summer League. I went and found a Pressure Luck slot machine because I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" It's like my childhood. Oh, you want to talk about crushed, buddy?
You pressed your luck.
I pressed my luck, and it did not work out well.
I have a confession. Before we end the pod, I have to confess something. every time I go to a casino, I see all of these like old people and old ladies just pressing the slot buttons and pushing the slot buttons. And every time I'm like, how can these people figure out how to play these things? And I have no idea how this works. I do not know how to play slot machines. I'm too dumb. I'm literally too dumb. I've sat down there before and I've tried to read the rules or whatever. I've put my money in and I do not understand how it works. I am too dumb to play slots.
You can figure it out. Look, you need to be retired. It takes time.
I guess so. You need some extra time.
It takes a little time. Or you could have gone hang out. Like, I'm sure that's what happened to, did you see the Monday Night Football game at all?
A little bit. It was just it was a blowout or whatever. Yeah,
it was. But the first series was very strange because the Cowboys got the ball and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb were not out on the field.
Why?
They didn't play the first series.
Scored 2 touchdowns. Why not? Were they suspended or something?
The rumor was that they were in the casino.
What?
They played the
Vegas?
Raiders. Yes, they're big buddies.
Oh my god!
That's the rumor that they were out at the casino and they stayed out like super late. I'm telling you, you can get caught. You can get once you're there, you're there, right? And so then, by like the second quarter, and the funny thing is, so even if they were out like super late and they were like in the casino, like. I think Pickens had like 140.
I saw Pickens score
CeeDee.
2 touchdowns.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They had
he was untackleable. That one play on the left sideline. There was like 7 Raiders trying to tackle him. He was just like, no.
They had like 220 yards and 3 touchdowns between them. So I guess the punishment got there. And Brian Schottenheimer's like hugging him on the sidelines. But yeah, he held him out of the first series of the game. I was like, that was their punishment? And that was the rumor. I mean, what else were you doing in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
if you figure guys got light punishment for being out in Vegas, I'm surprised that that's not a massive advantage for the Raiders. They just must really be horrible.
Well, they get no home field advantage because everyone picks that as the weekend that they go with the road trip with the boys to follow the team. Like all my friends go to a Giants game every year, and if they play the Raiders, like, oh, let's go to Vegas. You know, so it's like half. It was like the Knicks game last night. It's 3/4 Knicks game.
I'm talking about opposing teams gambling.
Oh, we always thought that was going to be a thing once they moved the team to Vegas.
Yeah, like staying out real late and like, you know what I mean? It's hard to not get caught up.
It worked for George Pickens. He looked great last night.
Those guys are built for it, right? They are built.
They were playing press your luck.
Huh?
They were playing the press your luck slots.
Yes, I think that's what they were doing. You can't win on that thing, by the way. You can't win. Thank you to our executive producer, Jesse Lopez. As always, Jacoby, I'll talk to you later this week.
Must be 21 or over and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.